Good evening. Coming up tonight, officer impersonated scam calls, the Super Bowl and the start of the Olympics, and Valentine's Day festivities. Big week, bigger stories. Tonight on Student News at 7.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio.
This is Student News at 7.
Good evening, Carolina. I'm Gabrielle Cassini.
And I'm Isabella Martens, here to give you the latest in news.
The Sumter County Sheriff's Department is now warning the community to beware of officer impersonation scam calls. Officials say callers are posing as law enforcement, demanding victims to pay an immediate fine or else they will go to jail.
Some scammers are even telling victims there is a warrant out for their arrest. Sheriff Anthony Dennis said the scammers are using real deputy names and phone numbers associated with local law enforcement departments.
To avoid being scammed, the Sheriff's Office sent this message out. The Sumter County Sheriff's Office will not ask for any payments online or over the phone. The Sheriff's Office does not handle anything regarding warrants over the phone, and do not give your personal information out over the phone, and always verify the number of any local or state agency before responding.
There are no suspects yet, but SGTV will continue to keep you updated as we follow this story. Now for an update on the state's measles outbreak.
South Carolina has officially hit over 900 cases, leaving government officials strategizing for solutions.
A state senator introduced a bill that would require all children to be vaccinated before attending public schools. Senator Margie Bright Matthews said the bill would end religious exemptions from this vaccine. However, some senators agree that the bill does not obey religious freedom and individual rights.
The bill was sent over to the Senate of Medical Affairs for review. SGTV will continue to follow this developing story.
Shifting our attention to a new development in Columbia, a popular one-of-a-kind art installation is making its way to the Midlands. The city has approved plans to bring one of Danish artist Thomas Dambo's great recalled wood troll sculptures to the Case Riverwalk. Dambo is known worldwide for these massive wooden structures that are created with upcycled materials.
He has created more than 100 of these sculptures, developing a cult following. The installation will make Casey the first city in South Carolina to host one of his works. Cities that have received Dambo's sculptures often see much larger park crowds and an increase in tourism. Cities comparable to Casey have seen an economic impact of $1 to $5 million in over 3 to 5 years. The installation is expected to be installed around the Riverwalk, and a timeline is to be released in the coming months.
While Columbia is seeing some new additions, a set of beloved gorillas are set to leave the Riverbank Zoo and Garden this spring as a part of a conservation and animal transfer program. The adult male brothers, Moyo and Dakota, will be heading to another highly accredited facility in Dallas this March. They are being moved in an effort to be around more gorillas their own age and reflect the natural maturity of them in the wild.
With the successful raising of these two brothers, the Riverbank Zoo could see more baby gorillas in the future. They are encouraging guests to visit the current gorilla group before they say goodbye. You know, I've actually never been to Riverbank Zoo.
I haven't either, and I feel like it's time now we go before
I feel like so
these
too.
gorillas leave. Maybe see some new ones.
I know. I hate to see an animal exhibit go, too. That's kind of sad.
Coming up after the break, the latest in sports. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dorian Pinkston.
And I'm Carson, Batten, here to break down this week's top sports news.
2,900 athletes took to the Southern Alps this weekend for the Milan Cortina Winter Olympic Games. The United States alpine ski team saw a lot of ups and downs on Sunday. On the upside, 30-year-old skier Breezy Johnson earned the United States their first gold medal of the Games and became the first American in 16 years to win the Olympic downhill competition. Unfortunately, the team suffered a loss when Lindsey Vonn went out in a dramatic crash after she clipped one of the flags just 13 seconds into her downhill run.
The 41-year-old skier had ruptured her ACL 1 week before the race, but chose to compete anyways. The United States' second gold medal win came from the U.S. figure skating team, led by figure skater Ilya "Quad God" Malinin, who attempted a total of 5 jumps in his performance. The United States and Japan were tied at the 59 points before the men's free skate, and it all came down to Malinin, who ended up on top.
Going into the 5th day of the Games, Norway leads with 13 total medals, and the United States is in 3rd place with 10, 3 gold, 5 silver, and 2 bronze. The Olympics continue until Sunday, February 22nd.
Moving on to the topic on everyone's mind in the world of national sports, Super Bowl Sunday. This past weekend, the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks went head-to-head in Santa Clara, California at the 60th annual Super Bowl. This matchup was not one to miss. The Seahawks won the coin toss and elected to start on defense, which held strong and kept the Patriots far from the end zone. An impressive first down run by Seattle's future Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker, began the team's offensive drive, but the Patriots were able to hold them to a field goal. The Seahawks led 3-0 by the end of the first quarter.
For the vast majority of the game, it was not a great day to be a Patriots fan. Seattle was able to get constant pressure on quarterback Drake May, tying the record for second most sacks in a Super Bowl with 6, and giving May the record for most sacks taken in a playoff run with 21. The fourth quarter proved to be the most exciting part of the game as the Patriots finally fought back and May threw a beautiful pass to Mac Hollins that led to a 35-yard touchdown.
The Seahawks defense was a huge standout in this year's game, which is huge news for us here in Columbia, as Gamecock alumni Nick Emanwari and Ernest Jones led the fighting effort that kept New England down throughout most of the game. With the new Lombardi Trophy under their belts, they have made our university very proud.
Looking at women's basketball, the number 3 ranked Gamecocks secured a vital win over the Tennessee Volunteers Sunday afternoon, blowing them out with a score of 93-50. Over the past few years, the Lady Vols have struggled to keep up with South Carolina, despite their past 3 games being decided by single digits. In the first quarters, the Volunteers were evenly matched up against the Gamecocks, getting on the board first and tying the game at 16 with over 3 minutes left in the period. Despite Tennessee head coach Kim Caldwell's multiple substitutions, South Carolina was able to take control of the game, entering the second quarter with a 7-point lead.
Tennessee's offense struggled as they missed 6 of their final 7 shots before the half. On the other hand, the Gamecocks were thriving as Raven Johnson made a pass to Tanya Latson to create their first double-digit lead of the game. In the final quarter, the Gamecocks outscored the Lady Vols 46-18. Latson led the team in scoring with 21 points, and Joyce Edwards followed close behind with 20 points.
With a final score of 93-50, this marks the Gamecocks' largest win over a ranked opponent and the largest loss in Tennessee's program history. The Gamecocks hit the road to face number 5 LSU Saturday at 8:30 p.m., a critical SEC matchup where LSU is favored to win.
Keeping you up to date with Gamecocks men's tennis, this past week the team completed a perfect week going 3-0 against Presbyterian, SC State, and Duke. This Sunday's matchup against the Blue Devils was an especially intense one to watch. The Gamecocks came out swinging, literally, beginning with doubles play. The dynamic duo of Lucas Da Silva and Paul Barbier-Gassou, who together are ranked 51st in the nation, upset Duke's number 36 Cooper Williams and Pedro Rodenas 6-4. A couple of courts away, USC's Atakan Karahan and Cole Hensroth also finished 6-4, securing the first point of the match for the Gamecocks.
Moving into singles, things continue to heat up on the opposite sides of the lineup. On court 6, Charlie Swain took an early victory over Duke's Sahith Jararaman, finishing 6-2, 6-1. Playing in first position, Da Silva continued to gain momentum after his doubles win and bested Williams yet again 6-2, 6-3. On court 4, Kararan was defeated by Duke's Alexander Visser 6-2, 6-4, but it wasn't over quite yet.
Playing in third position for the Gamecocks, Barbier-Gassou produced the same outcome as his doubles partner and caused another upset against number 78 Gerard Planeles-Ripoll 6-4, 6-4, which ended the match with the Gamecocks at 4 and the Blue Devils at 1. The men's team will be back in just over a week versus Oklahoma on Saturday, February 21st, hoping to continue their winning streak.
Coming up after the break, some Valentine's Day events and a Super Bowl wedding. Welcome back, Carolina. I'm Zoey Pippin.
And I'm Mary Smithnosky. Turning now to entertainment, let's see what's happening for events and pop culture.
Valentine's Day is quickly approaching. Romance is blooming and love is in the air. Next Monday, February 16th at 7 p.m. in the Russell House Ballroom, Carolina Productions is hosting the Dating Game, a night they say is Cupid approved. The event is being hosted by Jason Tartik, a former Bachelorette contestant. Students are encouraged to bring their closest friends and their crushes for laughter, surprises, and moments that will make your heart melt.
I had no idea that they did shows like that anymore. I thought that was from the 70s.
They do it every year. It's really cute.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. We'll have to go sometime.
Since we're on the topic of love, let's hear about a big moment from the Super Bowl halftime show.
Some couples prefer a small wedding while others prefer a grand ceremony to celebrate their big day. Thomas Walter and Elisa Aparico decided on the latter. The couple officially tied the knot on stage at Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime performance.
The Puerto Rican artist was originally invited to perform at their wedding, but since it landed on the date of the Super Bowl, he decided to switch the script and invite them to perform in his show. Bad Bunny served as a witness to the newlyweds and even signed their marriage certificate. Walter and Aparicio have been together since February of 2023 and engaged since October of 2024. The wedding ceremony also served as an extension of the show's greater celebration of Puerto Rico. Chapels are usually where people say I do, but at Notre Dame, students built one for a different reason.
Notre Dame students took advantage of the freezing temperatures last week and crafted a chapel made completely out of ice. The chapel, standing around 5 feet wide and 15 feet long, featured 6-foot high ceilings, stained glass windows, and a 20-foot spire.
This snowy piece of architecture was the work of senior students Wesley Barbera and Martin Soros, along with assistance from members of Coyle Hall. The chapel was given the name St. Olaf's Ice Chapel, and around 2,000 students and faculty members gathered around it to celebrate a candlelit mass.
You've heard of raining cats and dogs, but what about raining frozen iguanas? The recent winter weather has stretched as far south as Florida, making humans and animals alike experience temperatures far below average for the Sunshine State. The low temperatures have put invasive green iguanas in a frozen-like state, forcing their bodies to fall out of trees and into people's yards. Wildlife experts say although the iguanas appear to be dead, their organs continue to function and they remain in the trance-like state until temperatures warm up to above 50 degrees.
The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission issued an executive order on January 30th, temporarily allowing Floridians to remove the iguanas from the wild without a permit and take them to designated FWC offices. According to Tampa Bay Times, within 2 days, over 5,000 iguanas were collected by the FWC. Florida state authorities handed more than 1,500 of the invasive species over to the people with permits, while the rest were humanely executed by wildlife authorities.
Green iguanas are considered invasive due to the negative impacts they have on local ecosystems, the damage they cause human infrastructure from burrowing, and their potential risks for transmitting salmonella.
A baby elephant was born at the Smithsonian National Zoo in Washington, D.C. on February 2nd. The female calf has yet to be given a name, as the zoo is allowing people to vote on what they think her name should be after giving a $5 donation. In the past, allowing the public to select a name has ended both hilariously and unfortunately. Back in 2007, a humpback whale was deemed Mr. Splashy Pants when Greenpeace asked people to decide on his name. In 2016, Boaty McBoatface was chosen as the name of a British research vessel, and later that same year, people voted to name a racehorse Horsey McHorseface.
And perhaps the most creative one, the University of Colorado Boulder is home to the Alfred Packard Dining Hall. Students chose this name in honor of the real Alfred Packer, who is notoriously known as the Colorado Cannibal. It appears that the National Zoo is learning from history and is only allowing the public to vote on 4 pre-approved names rather than taking suggestions. This means that the new baby will unfortunately not be named Trunky McTrunkface, but regardless of her name, the 308-pound bundle of joy will serve as a beacon of hope for the heavily endangered Asian elephant population.
This little star isn't the only one taking center stage. Up next, this rowdy band is making its way to Columbia.
Treaty Oak Revival will be coming to Colonial Life Arena this Saturday, February 14th, continuing their current tour. The Southern Rock Country Band got their start in Odessa, Texas, in the back of a vacuum repair shop that belonged to the frontman Sam Canty's uncle. Treaty Oak is notorious for rebelling against typical concert etiquette, encouraging their fans to be as wild and crazy as possible. At one show, Cantry was hit in the face with a full beer can that knocked over his mic and put a large gash under his eye.
Cantry, however, didn't miss a beat. He picked his microphone back up and kept singing. The band has since incorporated throwing drinks into their show. Now, when they begin playing their song Boomtown, Cantry invites everyone to rage, and the audience erupts into chaos, throwing drinks and screaming. Treaty Oak Revival is stopping at Colonial Life as a part of their West Texas Degenerate Tour. The doors open at 6 p.m. and the show starts at 7.
That's all we've got on entertainment for today. After the break, we'll return to finish up the show. Stay with us. That wraps up tonight's edition of Student News at 7. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at SGTV at USC. To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtv@usc.com. For SGTV, I'm Mary Smithnosky, and from all of us here at SGTV, have a great night, Carolina. Forever to thee.